up? What go on? I've been watching Jaw Monkey on IG on Instagram, and it's just hilarious. But anyway, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sabo. Good morning, world. This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello, and trying to be in high spirits, yo. I'm trying something. I'm trying something a little different with another camera here on the main broadcast on the horizontal, just so you can get a different shot of what I'm going to be working on. Scooch, scooch, scooch. I have it propped up. I actually bought. I'm waiting for it today. It's a tablet stand, but I'm going to use it as a small easel just so that I'll be able to use it later. Anyway, let's go. This is what we're working on. We're working on Mean Streak Spider-Man. Mean Streak Spider-Man, and he is part of a collection that I'm doing that's going to go up for sale at a local comic shop, and when that is ironed out, I'll share more info, but I think that's pretty cool. And down here in the main broadcast, you'll see the slideshow. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that as we go along, but right now, let's schmoisen up this palette, this dry palette. Same colors that I was using yesterday. And get her did. For whatever reason, I'm gonna have to. I don't remember having to move. But I'm trying to make sure that everything is viewable. So please forgive me while I try to adjust this. I want to be able to give you guys the most proper viewing. And YouTube's acting funky. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me. Let me close out some of these windows so we won't be laggy. I'm gonna pop this window out, pop out that chat, so I won't be staring in two different directions. This is gonna be for that chat. Now that I got this camera here, I'm going to be bumping into it. I guarantee it. Let me just promote this piece right here. I was a bit worried about this piece getting muddy, but I have to remember that it's early in the process and we can always layer on top. We got good audio here. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit those thumbs up. All right, let's go. Enough selling. That's one thing I don't know if I want to change about the way I communicate with you guys, is all this selling really is kind of a turn off to me. I just want to hang out with you guys, and if you feel like you want to support me, please do so. I have prints and artwork, original artwork available. And if that's something that you want to get in on, I got links that you guys can check out. Check it out in my description. If not, enjoy the art, say what's up, hang out. You'll know when I'm trying to sell something. All right, let's get these things going. In the meantime, let's play. All right. I'm going to remove the text here just so that it won't be too distracting. I'll just throw it up later on today. Cool. Yeah, so anyway, I was fearing that I was going too dark too early, and I probably did. And I'm going to continue that trend of pointing myself into a corner. And I need a bigger brush. Let's get some brushes going on. I want a bigger brush. I really want to find a consistent way to paint. I think what you guys end up witnessing a lot from me is very spontaneous, and I'm gonna have to clean up these colors. Colors are muddy. They're a bit spontaneous because I go more for feel, and then I kind of like work my way from there. I don't know if that's always helpful to me. I can guarantee it's not so helpful to me. I had the chat window. Oh, I must have refreshed it. That's why. I'm just going to minimize it here. What color are you? In my last painting, I used a lot of broad, flat brush strokes, and I really enjoyed it. And with this Spider-Man, I kind of went away from that, and I don't know why. I think also the texture of the artboard is affecting the way I'm laying down the paint. One of the things that I had to adapt to was the smoothness of the Bristol board with the clear gesso. Can we find out why Arteza doesn't have a friggin' orange in their color palette? Anyway, so we just gonna wing it. So let's just keep going. So I'm realizing that subconsciously I'm adapting to the paper or the canvas. Even though I'm trying to maintain a specific painting style, if that makes sense to you all. And because of that, my consistency is challenged. So I am going to, in today's stream, I'm going to kind of like slow down a bit and and just kind of like embrace the brush strokes. But I think with that in mind, I'm gonna be struggling only because this board eats up the paint, so I can't really do that. I don't know, guys and gals, fellow artists, if you guys I don't want to use gesso all the time, but I think that I gotta figure out what's the medium that I like painting on top of more. So because it's not all the same. And I think my my first practices kind of set me up to have this type of struggle, because I was using paper, watercolor paper or mixed media quality paper, and I was treating them all the same. I'll draw on them, obviously, and then I will, within the last year, started to add gesso so that they can all have the same consistent feel when I would draw on them. I mean, when I would paint on them. And I think that comfort now is challenged because of using a different type of gesso. On paper. The clear gesso really, the smooth textured gesso really did kind of like changed a lot. Oh, brother. Where's my black? It changed the way I was laying down paint. One, because I struggled during the first time I used it. It was doing the Supergirl cover, and the second time was doing the Dick Tracy painting. That's so funny. Maybe if I would have cleaned my brush. Anyway, we live and learn. Am I broadcasting? Yeah, I am. It's gonna be glare, it's just the way gouache is. Gouache. Anyway, enough about me. How you guys doing? How's everyone doing on this hump day? But man, this week, even though it's the middle of the week and it should feel this way, it just feels like I thought it was a lot further in the week. So I felt kind of pressed for time, my own time. And I don't know why, y'all. Maybe, yeah. There's a lot of cool events going on that's about to happen in Casa de Mel. So, and although I have stuff scheduled, you probably won't be seeing anything new or fresh from me. No lives, because I'll be having family over, man, and I'm excited for that. I gotta do something with this floor. I don't like what I did here. My room's already drying up. watching every time these painting competitions that I've been watching as I die over here has really made me appreciate the in-between stages, the building of the of the paintings was so we're always rushing for the finish, either from viewers or even the creators themselves. We're kind of always rushing, and we frustrate ourselves through the middle process. I'll speak for myself. But watching those competitions, and just, even though they're on a time limit, they still build up perfect. The way they build up the ugly stages, and I don't even like calling it the ugly stage anymore, but the process stage. Embrace the whole thing. I think I'm gonna be a bit more bolder. I need some nicer colors here. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm looking at. Not only am I looking at what I'm doing, I'm looking at all my playback. I'm looking at my OBS screen. I'm looking at the YouTube screen. So I'm using those as my guide, which is probably wrong, for certain colors, because I'm trying to make it look like it looks good on screen. That might be too much, but who knows? Maybe that'll blend in nice. We may all yet be surprised. Plus, I'm going for an edgier Spider-Man here. Yeah, I'm watching these other artists just kind of like broad stroke and very deliberate, because they have to go broad and then to more detailed, smaller, more concise paint strokes. Who knows? I don't know what the frig I'm talking about, y'all. Kinda. In a hush. Speaking of hush, anybody here more disappointed in the Celtics than I am? PU, fellas. Ugh, I trusted you. What a Early on, man, that it was so frustrating to watch. Sorry, guys, I'm going to talk about this a little bit. Because the one thing that upsets me about this particular Celtics team is that the uniform you wear does not dictate the level of respect that you should get. Sorry. Or that you perceive to believe that you've earned. They've won a championship and they should be treated as rivals. But I don't think they scare anybody. So they always come into these games like this yesterday's closeout game against Philly, and they pretend like the other team is supposed to just lay down for them. They thought they were just going to go in and win. They played like shit. Anyway, that's my take on them. They should have blew Philly out of the water. But this is not Philly. Yeah, the Sixers. Here's the thing about the Sixers. They didn't want to win that game early. They thought the way they lost game 3. They thought that they was going to get blown out the water. I feel the way they played, they were like, meh. And the fact that there was just no energy from either of them. Fine, you guys can go ahead and win, is what I felt from the Sixers. Go ahead. But I think that that slowly turned into feeling of, I think, disrespect. Damn, they're not even going to try to beat us. They want us to just play like trash so that they can just go ahead and win easy. Not even try. It was a lackluster caca, unless they had a bad flight, bad home cooking. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me. So that bit of disrespect from the Celtics for, you should have just blown us out of the water. You should have beat us the way you had, right? The whole, you should have killed me when you had a chance. That's what it felt like. That's it. That's my sports take. So, neither team deserved it. But Philly ended up earning that yesterday. They didn't steal it. They stole one in the series. No. The Celtics gave it away before halftime. Yeah, they offered it up, thinking that Philly wasn't going to take it. I keep calling them Philly. The Sixers weren't going to take it, and the Sixers were like, fine, I will take it because you turkeys are treating us like trash. Anyway, and that's my sports take. But nobody cares. Boop, 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 boop. This Spider-Man is coming out pretty dark. Hopefully I can salvage that. I wonder if I should just keep it flat for now. See if I can get some bright coming out of this. It's all going to blend down, so I'm going to have to do this several times. And I'm going to have to add a bit more orange, because you don't want to add white to your red to make it lighter. You're just going to make pink and it's going to look weird. So oranges, lighter oranges, yellowish oranges are your best bet. Sorry for the loudness. I'm still mixing my Hemi and my Artezas for this piece. So I'm just gonna go into that orange a lot as we go along. Be using both. I'm like running out of space here. I got a mess, y'all. Sorry. I gotta take care of my area a bit better. So, I'm just going to be quiet and paint. Appreciate you guys hanging out. It's probably difficult to see on screen, but I'm using very quick and varied brushes, and I'm not painting through everything, so that where I've missed, I'll show you. Maybe I can show you. It was too glossy. Those blank areas, I'm gonna add lighter hues for wrinkles and that type of stuff. I'm gonna blend some of this black here. I will be back later on this afternoon, to try to put as much on this as humanly possible. We're actually moving and grooving. This one's actually going to be pretty dark, so it's going to require some layers. So are we ready for an adult Spider-Man? How many of these well, I guess Tobey Maguire's version was an adult, right? He was in college. Mid-20s? And then God knows how old he was during No Way Home. I'm gonna do a little dabbing on to give the blue part of his suit a little texture. And it'll look like I put a lot of time on the detail. You gotta cheat. Kane the man, how you doing? Hump day, happy hump day. If you are a practitioner of the hump day, celebratory. I don't know what the hell. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. What is do I want to know what a random seal is? By the way, I was random seal. Oh, you changed your profile. Gotcha. Random seal. Did we meet before? That name doesn't sound familiar, so I apologize. If we were old buds, then I don't remember. But no, it doesn't sound familiar. But oh, you was watching me paint Megatron. Megatron? You mean Optimus Prime? I should paint Megatron actually. There's a great image from the movie from the 80s, the animated movie, where he's about to shoot. I forget the character. Either it's Hound or Ironhide. And Ironhide is he's clutching his leg. No. And Megatron, who's such a thug, like such heroic nonsense. And gives him the forever sleep. Hold on 1 second. Good times. No, forget it. Yes, Megatron. There's a lot of cool scenes from that movie, and I had pretty good success using the grid method because of those robots. They're so, geometrically sound. it's difficult for me to draw square stuff. Machines and inorganic. Ships, cars. It's a different skill. It's one heck of a skill that I really should practice more. I think that if I was a car nut, if I liked cars as much as my family does, I would have been painting them more. Like, I'd rather take a picture of a car than try to paint a car. Yeah. I think that's coming together. I might have to smooth out this leg, add the same blues, but I think we Gucci. Were you able to finish Random Seal, see the finished piece? Thank you, sweetheart. Love you.
You're welcome.
My sugar. My sugar mama. No, sweetheart, thank you. Yeah, I do not like... Hey, I'll show it to you. Well, which one did you see? I did 2 of them, actually. While this dries, and I get my bearings, I've been doing it for an hour, so let me take a moment. I'll sip my Joe. This today should have been a coffee and lead. I might have to change that to coffee and draw. I think the connotation of lead may seem too violent to some, and maybe YouTube doesn't push those out as often as I think. Give me 1 second, I'll show you those pictures. Gotcha. Okay, so you only do the first one, so this one. Let me move my stuff around. This one, I have to seal this painting or I'm gonna ruin it. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you'll be able to see the whole piece. It's pretty big, 16 by 20. I actually enjoyed doing this one. I'll show them both. So yeah, this was the finished piece of the first one. Of a restful Optimus. Put in a lot of detail. What I would normally use for concrete and effects. I did it on his armor here. And then this one. I like this one. I like how clean it is. I was going to do the background, but I like how clean and just kind of poster-ish it looks. I'm gonna have to maybe do another coat. This is just really thick application of white acrylic. and you can still see the grid marks, the blue line. So I don't know if people digged it. They might, considering the mechanical nature of it. So yeah, but I think I put a thumb smudge. You see that? That's not very professional. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and re-add white gesso. White gesso, God help us all. White acrylic. This was a lot harder than I expected, just because it always felt like it was either too big or too small. He looks bulky, but I mean, I used the grid method and went 1-for-1. But anyway, I like it. I might do a Devastator. I might do a Megatron. Maybe Megatron's face when he's fighting Prime. When he's fighting Prime and he's like bloody, and he has the Energon coming through his face. It's over, Prime. Yeah, maybe. The possibilities are endless. Okay, dear. I'll be quiet. My honey, my sweetheart, my wife, she works from home and she'll be in a meeting, so I'll try not to cuss. No, I'm just kidding. So we were both respecting our space. So while that's doing, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to show you guys something that I have a couple of pieces. Let me see, this one here, slideshow. I want to share something with you here, and whoever's watching on the vertical stream. These are some pieces that I got going for sale, but they're for a really good cause. There's two gentlemen, YouTubers, that are in need of some help, and oh wow, they are these pieces on the slideshow here are going to be up for auction next week, Saturday, May 9th. I'm going to enlarge this in Biggin. On May 9th, these three pieces are going to go up for auction in 3 different times a day, depending on their availability. Kane the Man, thank you, and you have a fantastic rest of your day. So, these 3 pieces are going up for sale, auction. If you want to bid for them, May 9th, subscribe to Apex. I'll have some more info throughout the week. Apex, Omer Glitch, and Dawn Draws, and Shadowhawk. All 4 of those will be broadcasting on that day, and they'll be putting these pieces up for auction. But I am sharing them because from now until then, I'll be selling these exclusively through my Ko-fi, and it'll still be benefiting them. All the money, all the money will be going to their respective GoFundMes, to the stuff that they needed for the most. So if you're really interested, you kind of like these, go ahead and check out my Ko-fi. My information is right there. Sorry for all the mix up, but yeah, my info is right there. Go to my Ko-fi shop, check them out. If you buy them there, I can ship them to you directly, and the money will be going. I'll be donating on your behalf. So if you don't want to do it that way, you want to wait for the auction, go ahead and do that there. So I appreciate you. I'm gonna mention this again later on before I leave, and I just wanted to share. You lied, Kane. You said you was going to school. You kept doom scrolling, my friend. No, I appreciate you. I broadcast my stream several 3 times. So if you keep scrolling, you might find me again. I show a horizontal. I show 2 verticals. So anyway, thank you for the support. Thank you for hanging out. Get to school, homie. Get to school. All right, I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna move my slideshow back. Have it playing in the background. Oh, hey, yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna close this. Nope, not that. All right, let's keep going. Doom, doom, doom. I'm gonna put some music on in the background. Guys, if you're watching, thank you for the support. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Leave a comment, a suggestion. A thought. A suggestion. All right, where is my brush? Well, at least somebody's having a good time. Sorry. Fair. Welcome. How you doing? And I saw your figure piece. That thing looked nice. I'd like that you're getting back into it. Feeling a bit more comfortable, I hope. Are you grabbing your references from Pinterest? Or do you have are you using a book or anything like that? Either way, it looks really good. In 1 second. But yes, I am having a great day. I hope you are having a nice day as well. Well, you probably already had a nice day, right? You're several hours ahead in the future. If that's correct, what is it? Is it 10 p.m.? Close? Yes, I have a ton. If you find me, you might be able to find me under Mellow Marrero. We might be able to share our references in our posts, our pins as they call them. Let me see here. Who am I here? Melvin Marrero, can I... But yes, Pinterest is amazing for references. Oh my goodness, my friend, I just drew a blank. Okay. So you may be able to find me under Mellow Art. You take references from Pinterest? Yeah, of course. So do I. Yeah, and I don't mind. I know that unfortunately a lot of it's becoming just a photo gallery of AI art. But I'm going to say something. If you're a beginning artist, use whatever reference is in front of you and available to you. I have a hard time drawing chrome and painting chrome, that type of stuff. And Pinterest has an amazing gallery of chrome images, figures, and stuff like that. So I'm constantly looking at it. I haven't done any chrome images just yet, but I will. I have some pretty good ideas to put on. I'll definitely be using it. I don't want to say I don't care. I don't care what other people think. I don't care how people get better. You know. And I know that's an argument in itself with a ton of other Traditionalist. But in the end, I don't care, man. If it helps you get better, if you're putting in work, if you're studying other artists, do you, man? Shoot. Do you shoot? I think his form is actually okay. I need to build up. I'm going to be doing a Spider-Man Noir. Sorry, I'm stretching. I'm going to be doing a Spider Noir image drawing soon, and I'm going to share the reference, and that reference is from Pinterest. So if you I might do it on a live, just so that I think it'll be cool to have it up there and mess around and see what people's takes are and share it on and just share it on either the community page or their own page. I need to add this blue. To this, so it won't look so off. Wait, I need to find out. Okay. The only thing I would say when looking at art and looking at Pinterest for study material and reference, if it's AI art, and you know that it's AI art, just keep an eye out for the errors. Okay? Don't copy it so blindly that you're even copying its errors. You need to have a foundation to get better. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. But other than that, study the way you want, practice the way you want, produce the art the way you want, as long as you are doing it. You feel me? That's all. That's all I'm going to say. And then that art is subjective. People love AI art or whatever it is. They call it slop. Whatever it is, AI images, generative AI. I am neither a champion of it or a hater of it. In the end, I get asked that a lot, being an artist, and when they see me doing stuff live, the question comes up or the argument comes up. I honestly, peeps, I don't care. There's too much stuff going on for me to care too much about it. And they'll say stuff like, well, it's going to take your job. I ain't got a job. So until then, choo. But there's so many people that are looking for real artists, so don't be discouraged, you guys out there. Don't be discouraged. Show your artwork. Show what you can do. And yeah, man, if you see something similar that somebody did that's AI, put it next to yours. Show people how much better yours is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, if we all cried every time it rained, we would have never invented the umbrella. A mellowism. Take that with you. That's actually pretty good. Now that seems too bright, but that's okay. We're in the blending stage. That is definitely one of the things that about gouache that can be frustrating to new people is that one of its biggest attributes is that it's always active. So if you're not careful, you could paint over and muddy up stuff that you've smoothed out. But it makes for also, it's one of its coolest attributes how the blending can occur, and then it gives you such varied shades and tones because it's always dancing. And what once was looking like a hardcore muddy mess can now have varied definition and make it look like you planned it all along. I'm going to lift this. Hopefully, guys, you can see that I had to prop up because of the watery nature. It'll be a bit shiny. So let's like here I'm using a darker blue, but I'm going into the black, and it picks up the black and it makes a different darker blue. And because it's on my brush as well, I can add variation, and it could add, the appearance of muscle tone. As long as it's not too watery. If it's too watery, then what you'll be doing is pulling up paint, basically erasing. You don't want to do that. But it's very fickle. It's very hit or miss. You gotta mess with it. But I'm at the stage right now where if I use too little water, porked. The porkening. Meaning, if I use too much water, I'll be pulling up paints that I don't want. So I have to be careful. So I do a little bit, see how it sits. That might be too watery, so I'm gonna dry my brush and then that activates the bottom a little bit, following the light behind them. Everything is dry in my room. All of this here is going to be a bit darker on his arm. I just wanted to flesh it out a bit. But I think it's pretty good. I need to add a different layer. I think that's what I'm going to do now here. I'm going to go with my light blue, grayish blue. That was my line. This is gonna create a horizon line and another plane. It'll help differentiate what he's standing on and what's the background. And I'm just gonna let it blend in. It's a little dull and gray, but I just need it to begin to break up the planes. I'm gonna add more blue to showcase our homie. And you might be thinking, well, that's a lot of blue. Well, this piece is called, even though I'm titling it Mean Streak Spider-Man, it's also Spider-Man Blue. Yes, I know it's a lot of stuff. I need this white. I think it's gonna look cool with the white. I think my brushes are too dirty to get a good shade of blue here, but we'll find out. I'm just putting water on my 3 major blues so that I can just go back and forth on all 3 of them to get a good gradient and blend. I'm digging how sharp that is. We'll see how that plans out. One thing I hate that I do when I don't clean my brush properly. Let's see. You guys can probably hear my gut. So I'm gonna probably close out in about 10 minutes and come back and hang out around 4 o'clock. I think this was a good session. I was able to get a lot done here. Again, I'm just, I should continue, but I don't want to bore you guys. But I will be back and I'll bore you guys then. I think that sounds like a plan. So I'm going to let the music play out and I will peace out in a few. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this quiet Wednesday. This is Archer of the Round Table. My name is Melo, and I'll draw you later. Bye-bye.